Espinosa, and I am a recent graduate of Miramar College's yoga teacher training program. One of the reasons why I was picked to be a speaker at this event is because I am a yoga teacher and I'm used to speaking in front of people. But now that I'm looking at every single one of you, this is completely different because you all have your shoes on instead of being on a yoga mat. And instead of the calming smell of aloe, eucalyptus, and lavender, I have been getting whiffs of a Mai Tai, maybe of lumpia, and a ton of other food. Another reason why this is different is because I'm not teaching you to do anything. But I love teaching, and I love helping people physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I love exploring my creative side. But I wouldn't be here doing what I love, connecting with others, and growing if it wasn't for Miramar College's Basic Needs Department and Financial Aid Department. A little bit of background about myself. I am a military brat. My dad is an Air Force veteran. 24 years and 8 months as a weather forecaster or a meteorologist. He was deployed to several places, and we had the privilege of moving to a couple places like Illinois, Japan, Hawaii, where I grew up, and Idaho, which was completely different than Hawaii. We had the privilege of also finally moving to San Diego. My favorite place, sorry about that. This has to be my favorite place so far. We have been living here for the past 9 years, and although it's almost been a decade, it wasn't until last year, until coming to Miramar College, that I feel like I finally found my home base. My sense of centering, my sense of groundedness, and my sense of real stability. It was tough for me because I did go to 4 different high schools and I never really felt like I had this sense of belonging. But finally coming to Miramar College, specifically the yoga teacher training program, I got to feel that real sense of belonging, find a real sense of community. And you might be wondering, what do you even do at a yoga teacher training program? You might think we just sit down, we learn how to breathe, we're throwing flowers up in the air, maybe playing the Beatles every now and then, but it's a lot more mentally and physically demanding than any of us ever expected. For 2 to 3 days a week, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., we were physically moving all the time. We were learning the basics of anatomy, we were learning how to offer physical assists, we were learning how to offer modifications for different health conditions like osteoporosis, arthritis, things of the like. And we were also learning how to teach. We were learning how to find our voice. We were learning the foundations of yoga and just learning how to teach yoga. So to say the least, it was very transformative and it made me the teacher that I am today. So I'm really thankful for the program. It's very affordable. It's a public program, whereas private trainings are around $3,000 or more. So I was really thankful that Miramar College got to offer this. So during my 200-hour training program, since we were moving all the time, the main thing I would wonder is, when do I get to eat? And what do I eat? Because sometimes they would make me suddenly get into a downward-facing dog, but I just had a full course meal, or I ate something really unhealthy for me. I noticed that my classmates would come in during their lunch breaks with heaps of grocery bags, and I was wondering, why are they spending their lunch break grocery shopping? And what's the nearest grocery store around us? Turns out they were just walking across campus to what's called the Jet Fuel Resources Center, or Basic Needs. And they would share the food amongst our classmates or bring it home to their kids. So I finally checked this place out. It was so close to where our class was, and once I checked that place out, I never stopped checking it out. They had farmer's fridge salads that filled me up for lunch. They had frozen meat that I could eat for dinner or save for another time. They had dry food, ramen, cereal, hair products, makeup products. They just had everything more than I could ask for. So this place kept me fed, it kept me nourished. And after I finished the 200-hour training program, I moved on to the 300-hour training to be 500-hour certified. And that's when I also applied for financial aid. I was deemed eligible for the federal work-study program, and I got to work for Student Affairs under Dean Cheryl Barnard, who I know is around here. And working for Student Affairs really helped me to gain work experience, to gain connections, and to also get money, which I really needed. And at the same time, Basic Needs actually is underneath Student Affairs. So there was a couple times where I got to experience firsthand the whole village, the whole operation it takes to run this entire thing. Workers from Basic Needs would literally drive a truck all the way to a warehouse or to a store. They would pick up several boxes of food, load it onto the truck, drive it back to Miramar College, and then unload it onto Basic Needs department. And they would take 3 to 4 trips, maybe more, maybe less. So it was a lot of physical labor. And then after unloading, they have to weigh each of the boxes, and then finally they could stock it up onto the shelves. While we're stocking up, there are lines of people also waiting impatiently to grab the food, but you just remember that everyone's hungry, everyone's thirsty, and this is a free resource that we're really lucky to have. So working at Student Affairs, working in Basic Needs really helped me to further appreciate the physical labor, the time, the partnerships invested into this entire thing. When I finished my 300-hour training, now I work for financial aid instead of Student Affairs, and I'm still continuing to gain professional experience, to gain connections, and get money. So I'm really thankful to Basic Needs for feeding me, for nourishing me, and for financial aid for helping me financially. Both of those departments helped me to not only survive, to be fed, to be given money, but it helped me to live. It helped me to really focus on being a yoga teacher, to really helping to heal people, to help people, and it helps me to focus on myself instead of worrying about my need to survive. So I'd like to thank every single one of you for coming here today, for supporting our students, supporting our services. Thank you to Dean Barnard, to Financial Aid Director Vincent No, for helping me to be the teacher that I am today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicola. We appreciate that. All right, it's going to be a hard one to top, Kobe. Kobe Schmidt, come on.